From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A VIP guest on 4 legs is traveling all around downtown Detroit today. You can hear him going ahead of the NCAA tournament.
All right, Priya, preying on the elderly. Police say this woman stole someone's identity and walked away with a staggering amount of money.
And sick puppies. A new lawsuit claims one local pet store has been selling unhealthy dogs for a lot of money. Thanks for joining us at 6, everyone. You can't put a price on the perfect new pet, but some who bought puppies from Petland in Novi spent thousands on dogs that they say turned out to be sick.
Yeah, a lot of money here. And tonight the chain is pushing back against the claims more than a dozen customers are making in a new lawsuit. Sean Lay got to see one of the dogs up close today. Sean, good evening.
Good evening to you, Kimberly. That dog's eye not very clear due to a health problem. What is very clear here, both sides here, customers and Petland of Novi, really digging in for a battle now that this lawsuit has been filed. Customers saying the puppies they bought, expensive ones, are sick. Petland denying strongly these allegations.
Pretty much my best friend.
Carissa Sardia says she bought her French Bulldog Hugo from Petland of Novi for $4,000 and immediately noticed cataracts in the puppy's eye, costing $3,000 in surgeries.
Him being my best friend, I'm upset that, for the long part, he has to go through surgeries. He's already had one. He's going into another one next week. And I'm angry at the fact of what Petland does.
Carissa and her attorney, along with a dozen other Petland customers, are suing Petland, alleging that the puppies they bought came from what they believe are puppy mills, not reputable breeders. The customers say their Petland pups had parvo, lymphoma, and mange.
It's an explosive allegation to say they're sourcing from puppy mills.
I think a large-scale breeding operation where animals aren't being given the treatment that they need, the veterinary care and the love and compassion from the owner, is a puppy mill.
Petland Novi is hitting back, saying we deny any and all allegations. Understand, we do not deal with puppy mills. Puppies, just like babies, can get sick. Petland says all pups come with warranties. Carissa says she couldn't possibly part with Hugo.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I mean, he's been a tough guy. He's had to go through a lot in such a short period of time.
Back here live, Petland of Novi sending us a very long statement. It continued, quote, "We deny each of these false claims. Each puppy that we purchase comes from a reputable breeder," but now we've got 13 plaintiffs disagreeing, Kimberly.
Only 13 plaintiffs. Sean, any idea if maybe there are more?
Yeah, the attorney on this case says once she filed the suit, her voicemail filled up with other people claiming to be customers. She thinks it will expand.
I can see that. Okay, Sean, thanks.
2 teens are facing terrorism charges connected to a threat that forced the Whitmore Lake School District to cancel class. 18-year-old Eric Deaton and 17-year-old Michael Perks are charged with false report or threat of terrorism. The teens allegedly threatened to shoot up a Whitmore Lake school building. The district canceled classes on Wednesday as a precaution. If convicted, these 2 could face up to 20 years in prison.
A $1,000 reward is offered in the search for an identity thief preying on the elderly. Take a look here. Police say Rita Sorelli Belush stole more than $140,000 from an elderly woman after stealing that woman's identity. Her last known address was on Moran Street in Lincoln Park. If you know where this woman is, call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Detectives are hoping you might recognize one of these men here. They're wanted for allegedly stealing credit cards from gym lockers and cars, then using them to buy expensive computers. As Nick Monticelli reports tonight from Utica, it's happened at least a dozen times in several different cities.
This story essentially has 2 different layers. The first one is that the Utica Police Department needs your help tracking down these suspects, but they also want to make you aware to be careful inside of these gyms.
There he is right there.
Take a look at this surveillance video. This is at Best Buy on Hall Road in Utica on March 16th at 5:16 p.m. This man walks in the front door, goes to the Apple section inside, talks to a worker, and then at 5:23 he walks back out with a brand new Apple laptop. The problem? He allegedly bought the laptop with a stolen credit card, according to the Utica Police Department. But the story really involves all 3 of these guys, suspects, according to Utica PD, that could be involved in stolen credit card cases dating back to October of 2017 in Ann Arbor, Madison Heights, Northville, Troy, and Utica.
It looks like they know what they're doing.
Would you consider this a ring?
At this point in time, it's hard to say, but the MOs look like it may be related to a ring.
Detective Greg Morabito says these thieves are getting into either lockers and fitness clubs or cars in the parking lots, then stealing credit cards and heading straight to the stores to buy high-end computers.
Well, just to give you an idea, they went to one of our local electronics stores and spent over $3,000. So.
In just one transaction?
In just one transaction.
So detectives from all of these different agencies are hoping you might know at least one of these men, as they could be involved in at least a dozen different cases. And also, it's a good reminder to lock up everything.
Lock your lockers. Make sure you don't have anything very valuable in those lockers. If you can have real valuable stuff, leave it at home.
In Utica, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, Nick. A stranger danger alert from Clawson to tell you about tonight. A 14-year-old boy told police a man in a blue minivan pulled up and asked him if he needed a ride. He said no, and the van drove away. It happened on Lincoln Street, just north of 14 Mile, while the boy was on his way to Clawson Middle School. The driver was a white man in his 40s with brown hair and glasses. A woman charged with keeping hundreds of pets in inhumane conditions was busted with dozens of animals while free on bond. This is in Lenawee County. 53-year-old Sharon Evans was first arrested in January when investigators removed more than 200 animals from her home. Well, today they found 14 dogs, 5 puppies, multiple cats and turkeys, a peacock and a parrot, all of which violate the condition of her bond. She'll be back in court Monday.
There is encouraging news about the Oakland County Sheriff's deputy badly hurt when he was hit by a car in January. Deputy David Hack has been recovering at a facility in Colorado. His wife says all of his bodily injuries have healed, and he recently walked 40 feet with some assistance. Doctors, though, still can't say whether he'll ever fully recover from his traumatic brain injury. There is a fundraiser next month in Rochester Hills. We'll have info, of course, posted at clickondetroit.com in case you'd like to get involved.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of excitement in downtown Detroit with the NCAA tournament games taking place at Little Caesars Arena.
But few human fans can match the enthusiasm of the four-legged VIP who's lapping up a lot of attention all over town.
Priya Mann had the chance to tag along with Butler Blue III.
Of course, Michigan State is playing today. They've got Sparty, but all eyes on Butler the Bulldog, who's making plenty of friends in downtown Detroit. Cute dog. Does he compare to Sparty?
No.
They're all rooting for different teams, but safe to say we're all on the same page when it comes to this good little boy.
I was hoping to see him in Detroit. We were coming over to watch Butler. We knew they were going to be here in the region, so we're pretty excited.
Butler Blue III is in Detroit for the NCAA tournament, and fans couldn't get enough.
And now that I'm going there and I get to experience it here in our hometown, it's pretty surreal for me, yeah.
Butler is an English bulldog, weighs 65 pounds, and at 6 years old, he's a veteran at this.
Smile, dog.
Classified as a service dog, Butler posed for pics at Hockeytown.
The Butler Bulldog's in the house. What do you think? I think this is our house, and I think everybody's here having a good time. Awesome.
Over at Buffalo Wild Wings, Purdue fans were getting started early with a little help from their Boilermakers special. And you know, Butler just had to make an appearance.
This guy's a celebrity. Are you kidding me? They love him. He's part of Butler basketball. He's part of Butler University. And so to see a living, breathing, barking version of Butler out on the street, I think it makes people's day.
It didn't take long for us to spot green in a sea of gold and black. These fans figured this was their best bet at scoring tickets.
We have Sunday tickets. We didn't have Friday afternoon tickets. We're thinking that maybe some Purdue people have tickets for both games and don't want them.
Turns out they were right.
We want all the Big Ten teams to win and somehow meet, you know, in the Final Four.
Rivals on the court, but clearly all fans of Butler. Reporting from downtown Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
What a rock star.
He is, but Butler beat us in the Final Four a couple of years ago. I mean, just...
And they won earlier today, too.
They did.
He apparently likes pigs, right? They beat
crushed them, the Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks. All right, NBC Nightly News is coming up immediately following this broadcast. Let's see what Lester Holt and his team are working on.
Yeah, Lester joins us live from New York City tonight with a preview. Hi, Lester.
Hey, Kim and Jason, good to see both of you. Coming up for us tonight,
The lawyer for that adult film actress, Stormy Daniels, now says Daniels was physically threatened regarding her claims about the president. We'll hear more about that. Also, new details about the deadliest day yet overseas for the U.S. military in the war on ISIS. All when we see you back here for NBC Nightly News. For now, though, we'll send it back to you in Detroit.
Okay, we'll see you in about 20 minutes. Lester, thank you.
Still to come tonight, it's not quite warm enough for golf yet, or is it? Coming up, a special program giving kids a chance to learn the sport no matter what the weather is. Right, Andrew?
I like the sound of that. Can't wait for that story. Story in the weather department, still chillier than average. 39 at Metro, up 1 degree since last hour, but near freezing elsewhere. Sunshine over downtown Detroit with a calm wind out there. What about this weekend? I've got some higher temperatures and that weekend forecast straight ahead.
Okay, Andrew, and next a look at how we're doing when it comes to getting a good night's sleep, what some people are giving up to make sure they catch quality Z's. That's next.
The Jeopardy!
In good health, today is World Sleep Day, an annual event designed to raise awareness of sleep disorders and the importance of sleep. Today, a new survey is giving some insight into how we're sleeping and what we're willing to try to do to sleep better.
About half of Americans wake up on their own each morning, a fact that may amaze the other half. 37% rely on an alarm, while 24% are awakened by pets or children. We spend about a third of our lives sleeping, but 1 in 3 Americans aren't getting enough shut-eye. That has a negative impact on their health and well-being. We're willing to try all kinds of things, too, to sleep better. A new survey from Sleep Cycle finds 9% of Americans use Ambien, Xanax, or other sleeping pills. 21% have tried herbal teas, and 15% take melatonin. 14% use marijuana to help them sleep, the same percentage that have milk and cookies before bed. And 12% swear by bananas. They're high in magnesium, which is a natural muscle relaxant. Many of us have bedtime rituals, too, including taking a hot bath or shower, reading a book, or sleeping with the fan on. But just 1 in 10 put away their phone or computer at least an hour before bed, something experts recommend if you have any trouble falling asleep. It's not always sweet dreams. About a third of Americans say they have nightmares often, while 2/3 rarely do.
Now, 59% of Americans say they would give up their favorite food if it made them sleep poorly. 27% said that they would give up social media, which I find to be very interesting because social media, Jason? Oh, of course you could take a nap at work. Get over there.
What?
You're supposed to be over there.
I set an alarm for, wait, what?
Come on.
Oh.
It's time to get over there, dude.
Did I miss that whole story?
Oh my God.
Well, you promised to tell me about it later. You promised, okay. We're talking golf, that's right. Sorry about that. It set an alarm. Normally, hitting your driver in the school cafeteria would earn you a quick trip to the principal's office, but there's one after-school program that actually encourages it. Jamie Edmonds is live with a look at TGA Premier Golf Prep. Hey, Jamie.
Hey there, Jason. As you can see, the Spartans are behind me, but right now we're talking about golf. A couple days ago, I met some kids who are doing this really cool after-school program. Now, the program is about growing the game, and it's about kids that maybe not get exposed to this game to try it. There's putting.
Very interesting.
And chipping. And driving. Everything you would do out on the course right here at South River Elementary. The TGA Premier Golf Program is a nationwide after-school program that teaches beginners in schools and provides equipment. It's all about golf, but kids learn much more than the game.
They're learning a skill, they're learning the golf skill, but they're also learning a little math as far as keeping score. There's a character development part of every class. They're learning the etiquette of sport. They're, hopefully learning how to be good sports, how to treat people well.
Kids ages pre-K through 8 learn by giving it a swing and also through classroom work.
If you hit the ball and you're worried it's going to hit another player, what do you yell?
So if you're wondering how this is all working out, well, these are rubber balls. In the summer, they have camps and they go out to courses and they use the real thing. This is the final class of the session, so there was a test.
What's one better than birdie? Eagle, correct.
This kid gets an A in my book. Question, name 4 types of shots. And he answered putt, drive, chip, Happy Gilmore. All jokes aside, you can already tell some of these kids are hooked.
Like, it teaches kids my age and in the school district how to play golf to get them outside.
And it's really fun, and there's a lot of different pucks that you can use for different things.
Now, those kids were really, really fun. Some of them may never play golf again, but they have fun learning it. Other kids graduate to leagues, and then they play in the summer, and then they graduate to play in high school, and then some of those come back and coach these little programs. So it's really great. So drive, chip, putt, Happy Gilmore. Back to you.
I love it. I think it's great. No Shooter McGavin's in there. We want all Happy Gilmores. That's right.
I don't know if they know who Shooter McGavin is.
No, probably. You know, he hits it off of Frankenstein's fat foot, but that's okay. You know, this is a shooter's tour.
It's great though for those kids. I wish I had learned to golf that young. I would probably be pretty good by now.
And keeping their interest. Any program that does that's the hard part.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Never too late to learn. We got some great golfing weather this weekend.
That's right. This one's a good golfer.
Yeah.
This one was maybe 20 years ago.
All right. Well, we can brush up on those skills. Check out the links this weekend, everybody. We've got the great weather for it, with sunshine coming back to some higher temperatures. For tonight, lower temperatures. How low? Yes, down into the middle and upper 20s. This morning we were closer to around 20 degrees or even the teens. Not quite as cold later on tonight, but still cold enough for you to bring the pets and potted plants back indoors. Around 24 to 27 degrees here in Detroit, Dearborn, and throughout the metro zone and in your neighborhood throughout all of southeast Michigan, but also remaining dry. 39 degrees, visibility clear as a bell, and a calm wind out there. So wind chills, not very brutal. If you're still coming downtown for the game over at LCA, Bucknell, Michigan State, just after 7 p.m., take your time out there on the roads. Mother Nature helping you out with dry conditions. Mostly sunny through the 7 o'clock hour. Sunset is at 7:41. Mostly clear and fair skies, but close to freezing or lower by the end of the game and by late tonight. 34 right now for our friends around Pinckney. 32 right at the freezing mark in Mount Clemens, while it's still slightly above the freezing mark over in Monroe. You can see down to our south we have some warmer air, 40 degrees in Columbus, still need jackets there, but closer to 50 degrees right now in St. Louis and in Kansas City. As high pressure moves over to the east, it's going to tap into this milder air, providing higher temperatures, especially on Sunday. You can see wet weather and even some icy and snowy weather throughout parts of Iowa and into the plains, but this area of high pressure that's overhead right now, it stays over us as we go through both Saturday and Sunday, keeping this area of low pressure to our south. All this precipitation, some of this nastier weather, providing winter weather advisories up for Indiana and Ohio. That's going to stay south of the Michigan border. So we remain drip dry through the weekend and with plenty of sunshine on both days, and dry weather continues into Monday as well. So looking good and feeling better with those higher temperatures, right? Well, overnight tonight, we're still looking at temperatures that will be in the colder range, around freezing in the next few hours. By sunset, we're looking at 24 degrees overnight. 20s in your neighborhood as well, with mostly clear skies. Sunset is at 7:41. During the day on your Saturday, abundant sunshine for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Great for golf, tennis, whatever you like. Tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day as well. Sunrise is at 7:42, 39 degrees at noon, 45 for a high. Even better on Sunday. March Madness still in town. How about a high temperature of 50 degrees? I like the sound of that. I know you do too. Then we're back into the 40s on Monday. Partly sunny, still dry, and it looks like start of spring. It might be chillier, but it will be dry. Rain, snow showers that we talked about earlier this week, pushed off until Tuesday night and Wednesday.
That's good, but I'm ready to see 50s all across.
Right there.
All
Upper
across.
we all.
Soon.
You got it.
Thanks, Andrew.
Work on that golf swing.
Jamie's coming up with sports.